Hello and welcome. Before we begin this journey together, I invite you to get comfortable. Find a position where your body can fully relax. Perhaps you're already lying down or sitting in your favorite chair. Wherever you are, allow yourself to settle into this moment. Now, gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly release it through your mouth. Again, breathe in deeply and let it go, releasing any tension from your day. One more time. Breathe in peace and breathe out everything else. Good. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story. A story of a warrior who met the impossible. A story of ancient forests and forgotten magic. A story that will carry you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. You don't need to follow every word. You don't need to remember the details. Simply allow the story to wash over you like gentle waves. If you drift away, that's perfect. If you fall asleep, even better. Let go of your day. Let go of your worries. Let go of trying. And now, with your eyes closed, your breath calm, and your body relaxed, let us begin. Our story begins in the year 1191 on the cold, stormy waters off the coast of Ireland. A ship struggles against waves as tall as mountains, its sails torn, its mast cracking, its crew praying. Aboard this ship is a man named Kael, Sir Kael of the Knights Templar. He stands on the tilting deck, one hand gripping the rail, the other on the hilt of his sword. Even now, even as the world tears itself apart, he will not let go. Kael is 37 years old. His face is scarred from battles in the Holy Land. His hands are calloused from wielding the blade. His heart is tired from years of war. But he is a Templar, and Templars do not surrender. The storm roars. Lightning splits the black sky. Thunder shakes the bones of the ship, and then a wave, larger than any before, rises like a mountain of darkness. Kael sees it coming. He opens his mouth to shout, to warn, but the wave crashes down. The world becomes water, cold, dark, endless. Kael is pulled under. His armor, heavy as stone, drags him down. He tries to swim, but the ocean is stronger. His lungs burn. His vision darkens. And in that moment, as the sea claims him, Kael thinks of all the men he has killed, all the blood on his hands, all the years of fighting for a god who now abandons him to the depths. Is this, he wonders, justice? But then something changes. The current shifts. He feels himself rising. His head breaks the surface. He gasps for air, coughing, choking on salt water. In the distance, through the rain, he sees a shore, black sand, tall cliffs. He swims, or perhaps the ocean pushes him. It's hard to tell. His arms are numb. His legs barely respond, but somehow, impossibly, he reaches the shore. Kael crawls onto the beach. His fingers dig into wet sand. His body shakes with cold. Behind him, he hears the screams of his brothers as the ship breaks apart. He tries to stand, to go back, to help them, but his legs give out, and he collapses, face down on the black sand of a land he does not know. The storm continues to rage. Rain hammers his back. Wind howls in his ears. But Kael hears none of it. He has nothing left. And so he lies there, on the edge of the world, between the sea and the shore, between life and death, between everything he was and everything he will become. Part 2. The Forest's Call. When Kael finally opens his eyes, the storm has passed. The sky above him is the color of ash, gray, heavy, waiting. He sits up slowly. His body protests every movement. His armor is rusted from the salt water. His sword, if he still has it, will be the same. He looks around. The beach stretches in both directions, empty. No survivors, no wreckage, only the whisper of waves returning to the sea. Kael stands. His legs shake, but they hold. He turns away from the ocean and looks inland. Before him rises a forest, not like any forest he has seen before. The trees are ancient, massive trunks twisted like old men, branches reaching like gnarled fingers toward the gray sky. Between the trees, he sees mist, thick, silver, moving as if alive. Every instinct Kael has as a warrior tells him do not enter that forest. But behind him is only the sea that drowned his brothers, the sea that tried to drown him. And he is so very cold. He needs shelter, fire, food. He has no choice. And so, Kael begins to walk toward the trees. With each step, the forest seems to grow darker, the mist thicker. He crosses the threshold where beach becomes grass, where sand becomes soil. And the moment his foot touches the forest floor, everything changes. The sound of the ocean fades, not gradually, but all at once, as if a door has closed. Now there is only silence, deep, complete, the kind of silence that presses against your ears. Kael pauses. His hand moves to his sword. Yes, it's still there, rusted, but there. He draws it slowly. The sound of metal against leather seems too loud, but nothing responds. The forest simply watches. Kael walks deeper. The trees tower above him. Their bark is dark, almost black, carved with symbols he does not recognize. Spirals, knots, lines that seem to move when he's not looking directly at them. The mist swirls around his ankles, cold, damp. And then he sees the lights, small, distant, flickering between the trees like tiny stars that have fallen to earth. Blue, green, gold. They dance, moving in patterns that make no sense. Kael knows he should not follow them. Stories from his childhood whisper in his memory. Will-o'-the-wisps, fairy lights. They lead travelers astray, into bogs, off cliffs, to their deaths. But what choice does he have? And so, sword in hand, wet, cold, alone, Sir Kael follows the dancing lights deeper into the ancient Irish forest. The lights lead Kael for what feels like hours, or perhaps only minutes. Time in this forest does not behave as it should. Sometimes he walks through thick undergrowth. Other times the path is clear, as if swept just for him. The trees grow larger, older. Some are so massive that 10 men joining hands could not encircle their trunks. And then the lights stop. They hover in a clearing ahead, circling something. Kael approaches slowly, his sword ready, his body tense. And then he sees it. A tree, but not like the others. This tree is alive. Not in the way all trees are alive, but truly awake. It's an oak, ancient beyond measure. Its trunk is wider than a house. Its branches spread like a canopy of twisted arms. And carved into its bark are symbols, runes. Glowing, soft golden light pulses from the carvings like a heartbeat. Kael stares. He has seen many things in his years as a Templar. Miracles, horrors, but nothing like this. Beautiful, isn't it? Kael spins, his sword raised, his heart pounding. There, standing between the trees, is a woman. No, not a woman. She is taller than any woman he has known, slender, graceful. Her skin seems to glow faintly, like moonlight on water. Her hair is white, not the white of age, but the white of starlight, of snow, of things pure and otherworldly. It falls in long waves past her waist, moving even though there is no wind. Her eyes. Kael cannot look away from her eyes. They are silver, like polished metal, but deep, endless, as if behind them lie entire universes. She smiles, and when she speaks, her voice is like music. You are far from home, Iron Bearer. Kael tightens his grip on his sword. Who are you? His voice is rough, hoarse from salt water. The woman tilts her head, studying him. I am Maeve, she says, and you are in the land of the Seethe. Kael frowns. The Seethe? Yes, Maeve says. The ancient ones, the fair folk, the Fae. Kael's blood runs cold. Fae. Demons, the priests called them, creatures of darkness, servants of the devil. He raises his sword higher. Stay back. But Maeve only laughs, not mockingly, but with genuine amusement. Oh, Iron Bearer, she says, that blade will do you no good here. Besides, if I wished to harm you, you would already be dead. She takes a step closer. I am no demon warrior. I am simply older than your gods. Kael stares at her. His training screams at him to strike, but something deeper, something he cannot name, tells him she speaks the truth. Slowly, very slowly, he lowers his sword, but he does not sheathe it. Maeve smiles again. Good, she says. Perhaps you are not as foolish as most of your kind. She gestures to the glowing oak. Come, sit. You are wounded, cold, lost. I can help. Kael hesitates. Every fiber of his being tells him to refuse, to run. But where would he go? The ocean lies behind him, the forest surrounds him, and this creature, this Fae, has done nothing yet but offer help. Against every instinct, every lesson, every prayer, Sir Kael walks forward and sits beneath the glowing oak beside the impossible woman named Maeve. Art 4. The Healing. Maeve kneels beside Kael. Her movements are fluid, graceful, like water flowing over stone. You are hurt, she says. It's not a question. Kael looks down at himself. His armor is battered, bent in places. Beneath it, his body aches. Bruises, cuts, perhaps broken ribs. He had not allowed himself to notice until now. I'm fine, he says. A lie, and Maeve knows it. She reaches out, her hand pale, delicate, fingers long and graceful. Kael flinches. What are you doing? Helping, Maeve says simply. Before he can protest, she touches his shoulder, and warmth floods through him, not the warmth of fire, but something gentler, like sunlight filtering through leaves, like honey dissolving in tea. The pain in his ribs eases, the ache in his muscles fades. Kael gasps, "What did you—" But Maeve has already pulled her hand away. She sits back on her heels, studying him. "You carry much pain," she says softly, "not just in your body." Kael says nothing. He does not know what to say. Maeve reaches into a small leather pouch at her waist. She pulls out dried herbs, crumbles them in her palm, and offers them to him. "Eat these. They will restore your strength." Kael stares at the herbs. "How do I know they're not poison?" Maeve laughs, that musical sound again. "If I wanted you dead, Iron Bearer, you would be dead. I do not need poison." She has a point. Reluctantly, Kael takes the herbs and places them in his mouth. They taste of earth and mint and something else he cannot name. Warmth spreads through his chest. "Who are you? What are you?" "I told you, I am Maeve of the Sith. We have lived in this land since before your kind learned to write your stories. We are the old magic, the first peoples, the guardians of the threshold between worlds." "Magic," Kael says, the word bitter in his mouth. "There is no such thing. There is only God." Maeve tilts her head. "Your God is one of many, Iron Bearer, and magic is simply what you call the things you do not understand." She stands, graceful as a deer. "Rest here tonight. In the morning I will show you the forest. Perhaps then you will begin to see." "See what?" "That everything you believe is wrong," Maeve says, and she walks away, disappearing into the mist, leaving Kael alone beneath the glowing tree. He sits there for a long time, his rusted sword across his knees, his mind racing with questions he cannot answer. Finally, exhaustion claims him. His eyes close, and for the first time in weeks, Sir Kael sleeps without dreams of war. Part 5. Lessons of the Forest. When Kael wakes, the sun is rising, or what passes for sunrise in this strange land. The light is soft, filtered through the canopy of ancient trees, turning everything green and gold. Maeve is sitting nearby, watching him with those silver eyes. "You snore," she says, embarrassed. "I do not." "You do, like a bear in winter." Despite himself, Kael almost smiles. He cannot remember the last time someone teased him, cannot remember the last time anything felt light. Maeve stands. "Come, I will show you the forest." They walk together through the trees. Maeve moves as if she knows every root, every stone, every hidden path. Kael follows, his hand never far from his sword. "You see this tree?" Maeve says, stopping before a massive elm. "It has stood here for 800 years. It was old when your people first came to this island." She places her hand on the bark, and Kael swears he sees light pulse beneath her palm. "Everything here is alive, Iron Bearer. Not just the trees, the rocks, the streams, the very earth beneath your feet. They all have spirit. They all have voice. You simply do not know how to listen." "That is pagan talk," Kael says. "Heresy." "Is it?" Maeve looks at him. "Tell me, does your God not speak through all creation? Is that not what your own prophets teach? Kael opens his mouth to argue, but finds he has no answer. They walk further. Maeve shows him things he would never have noticed. The way the moss grows only on the north side of trees, but tracks of a deer hours old, the nest of a bird woven with such precision it seems impossible. Nature is not random, Maeve says. It is intentional. Everything has purpose. Everything is connected. The bird that eats the berry spreads the seed. The seed becomes a tree. The tree shelters new birds. And so the circle continues. The circle, repeats Kael. Life, death, rebirth. Your people fear death, but we do not. Death is simply transformation. The leaf falls, becomes soil, feeds the tree, becomes leaf again. Nothing is ever truly lost. They come to a stream, clear and cold. Maeve kneels and cups water in her hands, drinks. She offers water to Kael. He hesitates, then kneels beside her and drinks. The water is the sweetest he has ever tasted. "Why are you showing me this?" Kael asks. Maeve looks at him for a long moment. "Because you are lost, Ironbearer, not just in this forest, in yourself. You have forgotten what it means to simply be. You have spent so long being a weapon that you have forgotten you are also a man." Her words strike deep. Kael looks down at his reflection in the stream. The face that stares back is harder than he remembers, older, more scarred. When did he become this? Maeve stands. "Come, there is more to see." And Kael, against all reason, follows her deeper into the forest, deeper into mystery, deeper into a journey that will change him forever. They walk for hours, or perhaps minutes. Time continues to slip and slide in this place, refusing to behave as Kael expects. The forest grows denser, the trees older, their branches weaving together overhead to form a living cathedral. The light that filters through is green and gold, making everything feel dreamlike, suspended between waking and sleeping. And then they come to a place that should not exist. Maeve pauses at the edge of a clearing. "We are crossing a threshold now, Ironbearer. What you see beyond this point, you must keep in your heart. Speak of it to your brothers, and they will call you mad." "I have no brothers left," Kael says quietly. "They drowned in the storm." Something like compassion crosses Maeve's face. "Then you are more alone than I thought. Perhaps that is why the forest brought you here." She steps forward, and Kael follows. The clearing opens before them, and Kael's breath catches. It is a glade unlike anything he has imagined. The grass is impossibly green, dotted with flowers in colors that have no names. The air shimmers with what looks like golden dust, motes of light that dance and swirl. And in the center of the glade stands a ring of white stones, each one carved with the same spiraling symbols he's seen throughout the forest. But it is not the stones that make Kael freeze. It is the beings. They are everywhere. Small creatures, no taller than his knee, with wings like dragonflies that catch the light and scatter it in rainbows. Taller beings, slender and graceful like Maeve, with skin in shades of bark and leaf and flower. Some play instruments he does not recognize, creating music that seems to come from the air itself. They are the Fae, the fair folk, the creatures he was taught to fear and hate, and they are beautiful. One of the small ones approaches, fearless. It looks up at Kael with eyes like black pearls and giggles. The sound is like bells. "Hello, Iron Man," it says, in a voice high and clear. "Why do you wear all that heavy skin?" "It's armor," Kael says, his voice rough. "Armor," the creature repeats, as if tasting the word. "To protect from what?" "From enemies, from blades and arrows." The creature looks puzzled. "Why would anyone hurt you?" In this place, surrounded by beings who dance and laugh and create beauty, the concept of war seems suddenly alien, unnecessary, cruel. "Come," Maeve says gently. "They will not harm you. The Fae harm only those who bring harm first." Kael walks slowly into the glade. The Fae watch him with curiosity, but not fear. One offers him berries from a bowl carved from wood. They are deep purple, almost black, and when he tastes one, it is sweet beyond description, like concentrated sunlight and summer rain. Another Fae, tall and willowy with bark brown skin, plays a flute made of reed. The music is haunting, beautiful, and Kael feels something inside him beginning to crack. Some hard shell he built around his heart years ago is showing fissures. He sits on the grass. It is softer than any bed he has known. The Fae continue their dance and song, and for the first time in as long as he can remember, Kael laughs. Not a bitter laugh, not a mocking laugh, but genuine joy. Maeve sits beside him. "You see now?" she asks. "This is what the world could be, without war, without hate, just being, just beauty." "But the real world is not like this," Kael says. "Isn't it?" Maeve asks. "Or have you simply forgotten to look?" They sit in the glade as the sun moves across the sky. The Fae bring them food, honey cakes and nuts and fruits. They tell stories in languages Kael does not speak, but somehow understands. They show him dances older than kingdoms, and slowly, gradually, the weight Kael has carried for so many years begins to lift. As twilight falls, painting the sky in shades of purple and deep blue, Maeve rises. "There is one more place I must show you tonight," she says. "The most sacred place in this forest. The place where the veil between worlds is thinnest." Kael stands. His body feels lighter than it has in years. Perhaps it is the Fae food, or perhaps it is something else, something happening inside him that he cannot yet name. They leave the glade, the Fae waving goodbye with their small, delicate hands. The forest is different at twilight, quieter, more still, as if the world is holding its breath. They walk through ancient groves, past trees so old they remember when the island was young. The path slopes downward, and Kael can hear water, the gentle lap of waves against shore. And then they emerge at the lake. It is perfect, a mirror of dark water reflecting the first stars appearing overhead. The surface is so still, so smooth, it is hard to tell where water ends and sky begins. Mist rises in gentle tendrils like the breath of the earth. "This is the lake of reflection," Maeve says softly. "Here, the Fae come when we need to remember
who we truly are. The water shows not what you appear to be, but what you actually are deep in your soul. Kael approaches the edge slowly. I'm not sure I want to see that. Few do, Maeve says, but those who are brave enough to look always find what they need, not what they want. Kael kneels at the edge of the water. The surface is like black glass, perfectly still. He looks down at his reflection, and at first sees only what he expects: his scarred face, his hard eyes, the face of a warrior, a killer, a man who has seen too much. But then the reflection begins to change. He sees himself as a boy before he joined the Templars, smiling, curious, full of wonder. He sees the moment he took his vows, so certain, so proud. He sees every battle, every man he killed, watching the light leave their eyes. He sees the slow hardening of his heart, like metal cooling after being forged. And then he sees something else, moments of kindness he had forgotten. The time he shared his rations with a starving child in Jerusalem. The time he held the hand of a dying brother, singing him gently into death. The time he chose to spare a boy soldier, no older than 15, letting him run when he could have struck him down. He was not only destruction, he was also mercy, though he had forgotten. Tears sting Kael's eyes. He has not cried in years, perhaps decades. Templars do not cry. Warriors do not cry. But here at this sacred lake, with only the Fae woman beside him, Kael weeps. He weeps for the boy he was, for the man he became, for all the lives he took, for all the beauty he ignored, for all the years he spent believing the only path was the sword. Maeve says nothing. She simply sits beside him, her presence gentle, allowing him this moment of breaking. Finally, when the tears slow, Kael speaks. His voice is raw. I don't know who I am anymore. Good, Maeve says. That is the first step. The old Kael is dying. What comes next is up to you. They sit by the lake as the stars multiply overhead, filling the sky with light. And Kael feels something shift deep inside him, like a door that has been locked for years, finally creaking open.
Part 8. The Sleeping Isle. Maeve rises and gestures toward the lake. Do you see it? There, in the center. Kael looks. At first, he sees nothing, just water and stars. But then, as his eyes adjust, he sees a shape, an island, small, barely visible in the darkness and mist. The Sleeping Isle, Maeve says. A place between places, a sanctuary for those who are ready to cross from one life to another. How do we reach it? Kael asks. Maeve smiles and extends her hand. Trust me. Kael hesitates, then takes her hand. Her skin is cool, smooth, but there is warmth beneath. She leads him to the water's edge. There, pulled up on the shore, is a boat he had not noticed before. It is small, carved from a single piece of pale wood, and it glows faintly in the starlight. They step into the boat. Maeve takes up a single oar, though the boat seems to move on its own, gliding across the glass-smooth water without effort. No ripples disturb the surface. No sound disturbs the silence. Kael looks down at the water. It is perfectly clear and deep, deeper than any lake should be. He can see things moving far below. Fish, he thinks at first, but then he realizes they are made of light, swimming through the darkness like stars through the void. What is this place really? Kael asks. A crossing, Maeve says. The Fae use it to travel between the worlds. Your world, which you call real, and ours, which you call fantasy. But both are equally true. Both are equally real. It is only your limited perception that makes you think otherwise. The boat moves through water and mist, through darkness and starlight, and Kael loses all sense of time and distance. It feels as though they travel for hours, or perhaps only moments. And then, gradually, the island emerges from the mist. It is small, perhaps 100 paces across, covered with soft grass that seems to glow silver in the moonlight. A single tree grows at its center, ancient, massive, its branches heavy with white blossoms that fall like snow. The boat touches the shore with barely a sound. Maeve steps out, and Kael follows. The moment his foot touches the island, he feels it. A profound peace, deeper than anything he has known. His body, still tired from the shipwreck and the journey, suddenly feels weightless. His mind, always racing with thoughts of duty and danger, grows quiet. This is where some come to rest, Maeve says. Warriors who are tired of war, travelers who are tired of traveling, souls who are ready to simply be. She walks to the center of the island, to the great tree. Beneath its branches is a bed of moss, thick and soft as any mattress. She sits and gestures for Kael to join her. He does. The moss is impossibly comfortable, cradling his body. Above, the white blossoms drift down like gentle snow, though they never seem to accumulate, each one vanishing before it touches the ground. Some who come here never leave, Maeve says quietly. They lie down beneath this tree and they sleep. And they dream such dreams that they have no wish to wake. They are not dead, but they are not quite alive either. They are between, at peace. Is that what you want me to do? Kael asks. I want nothing from you, Maeve says. I am simply showing you possibilities, choices. You can return to your world, find another ship, rejoin your war, or you can stay here in this place of peace and rest. There is no judgment either way. Kael lies back on the moss, looking up through the branches at the stars. They are brighter here, closer, as if he could reach up and touch them. He thinks about the Holy Land, about the endless fighting, the blood, the sand. He thinks about his brothers drowned in the storm. He thinks about the order, about duty, about all the things that have driven his life. And he realizes he is tired, so very tired. I could stay, he whispers. I could just rest. You could, Maeve agrees.
They lie in silence, side by side beneath the ancient tree. The white blossoms fall, the stars shine, the island breathes with gentle peace. And Kael feels himself drifting, not into sleep exactly, but into something deeper, something like sleep and death and dream all woven together. It would be so easy to let go, to simply surrender, to rest after so many years of war. But then, from somewhere deep inside, a small voice, barely audible, asking a question he thought he'd stopped asking years ago. Is this truly what I want? Or is there something more?
Part 9. The Remembering. Kael opens his eyes. He did not realize he had closed them. Maeve is watching him with those silver eyes. "You are still here," she says. It is not quite a question. Kael struggles to find words. I could feel myself slipping away. "Yes," Maeve says. "The sleeping isle calls to those who are weary. It offers rest, peace, an end to struggle. Many accept. There is no shame in it. But you knew I wouldn't," Kael says. Maeve smiles. "I hoped, but I did not know. The choice was always yours." Kael sits up. The pull of the island is still there, that seductive promise of endless rest. But something stronger has awakened in him. A curiosity, a question. "You said I could return to my world or stay here, but are those the only choices?" Maeve's smile deepens. "Ah, now you begin to see. No, Ironbearer, those are not the only choices. There is a third path, harder than either, the path of transformation." She stands and offers her hand. "Come, I will show you." They walk to the far side of the island, where the shore drops away into mist. Maeve gestures, and the mist parts, revealing something Kael had not seen before. A cave. Its entrance framed in living crystal that glows with inner light. Symbols are carved around the entrance, spirals and knots. The same ancient language he has seen throughout the forest. "This is the cave of remembering," Maeve says. "Enter here, and you will see your life, not as you have told yourself it was, but as it truly was. Every moment, every choice, every consequence. The truth, unfiltered, unedited." It is not easy. Most who enter emerge changed. Some cannot bear it and flee. But those who complete the journey, she pauses, they become something new. Kael looks at the cave entrance. He can feel something emanating from it, a power that makes the hair on his arms stand up. Fear rises in him, but also something else. Hope? Possibility? "What if I can't bear it?" he asks. "Then you will have your answer," Maeve says. "But I do not think you are the kind of man who runs from truth. You have fought enemies for years. Perhaps it is time to face the only enemy that truly matters." "Myself," Kael whispers. Maeve nods. Kael takes a deep breath. He thinks of the boy he saw in the reflection, full of wonder. He thinks of the man he became, hard, scarred. He thinks of who he might still become, and he steps into the cave. The moment he crosses the threshold, the world changes. The cave is not dark inside.
It is filled with light, soft, golden, coming from the crystals embedded in the walls. They pulse with rhythm, like a heartbeat. And then the visions shift. They show him not just the darkness, but also the light he had forgotten, the mercy he had shown, the lives he had saved, the moments of beauty he had witnessed but dismissed. A sunset over Jerusalem, so beautiful it brought tears to his eyes, though he wiped them away quickly, because warriors do not cry over sunsets. A child's laughter in a marketplace, innocent, pure, that made him smile despite the weight of his armor. The brotherhood he had felt with his fellow knights, that sense of belonging, of purpose, of being part of something greater than himself. Not everything was darkness, not everything was blood. There was also light, also love, also moments of grace. He had simply forgotten to see them. The visions slow, then stop. Kael remains on his knees on the crystal floor, tears streaming down his face. He understands now. He was never just a warrior. He was never just a killer. He was always more complicated, more human, more whole than he allowed himself to be. The cave glows brighter, and Maeve is there, though he did not see her enter. She kneels beside him and places her hand on his shoulder. "You have seen," she says softly, "the good and the bad, the light and the shadow. All of it is you. All of it is true. The question now is, what will you do with this knowledge?" Kael looks at her. "I don't know." "That is honest," Maeve says. "Come, the journey is not finished." She helps him to his feet. They walk deeper into the cave, and it opens into a vast chamber. At its center is a pool of water, perfectly circular, glowing with the same golden light as the crystals. "This is the pool of becoming," Maeve says. "Those who look into the cave of remembering and survive come here next. Look into the water, and you will see not who you were or who you are, but who you could become." Kael approaches the pool slowly. He looks down at his reflection in the glowing water, and he sees himself, but changed. Older, his hair completely silver now, but his face is softer, more peaceful. The hardness is gone. In his eyes, wisdom, compassion, understanding. He is smiling. In this vision, he wears no armor. Instead, simple robes, like a monk. He sits beneath a tree, not the tree of war, but the tree of wisdom. Around him are people, listening, learning. He is teaching, not with a sword, but with words, with stories, with the hard-won wisdom of a man who has walked through darkness and found light. He sees himself helping others, not through violence, but through presence. He sees himself healing, not bodies, but souls. He sees himself as a bridge between worlds, between the warrior and the mystic, between the iron and the spirit. Is this possible? Can he truly become this? "It is one possibility," Maeve says, reading his thoughts. "One path. There are others. The future is not fixed, Kael. It is fluid, changing with every choice you make. But this is what you could become if you choose growth over glory, wisdom over war, healing over hatred." Kael stares at his future self. He looks happy, truly happy, at peace in a way Kael has never known. "How?" he whispers. "How do I become that?" "By choosing it, every day, every moment, by letting go of what you were and embracing what you could be,
by walking the hard path of transformation instead of the easy path of staying the same. "I want to try," Kael says. "I want to walk this path." Maeve smiles, and her smile is radiant, full of genuine joy. "Then you have already begun."
They emerge from the cave into the soft light of dawn. The sleeping isle is behind them now, and the boat waits at the shore. They cross the lake again in silence, Kael lost in thought, processing everything he has seen, everything he has learned. When they reach the other shore, the forest has changed, or perhaps Kael has changed, and so he sees it differently. The trees seem friendlier now, welcoming. The mist is not threatening, but protective. The strange lights are not leading him astray, but guiding him home. They walk together through the ancient woods, Maeve leading the way, until they come to the place where Kael first entered the forest. He can see the edge of the trees, the gray light of the open sky beyond. Maeve stops. "This is where you must choose," she says. "You can walk back into your world, return to what you were, or you can walk deeper into the forest, into the land of the Seethe, and become something new. Not quite human, not quite Fae, but something between. A wanderer, a seeker, a bridge." Kael looks at the edge of the forest, at the world beyond. It would be easy to return, to find another ship, to rejoin the Crusades, to be Sir Kael, the warrior, once more. But he is not that man anymore. That man died in the storm, drowned with his brothers in the cold sea. What stands here now is someone new, someone still forming, still discovering who he could be. He turns away from the edge of the forest and looks instead at the path leading deeper into the trees. "If I choose this, can I ever go back?" he says. "You can always go back," Maeve says, "but you will not be the same, and neither will your world. Once you have seen the Fae, once you have walked between the worlds, you carry that knowledge forever. It changes you. It changes how you see everything." Kael nods. He understands. There is no going back, really. Even if he returns to the world of men, he will carry the forest with him. He will carry the Fae. He will carry Maeve's lessons. He thinks of the man he saw in the pool of becoming, the teacher, the healer, the bridge between worlds. Is that truly possible? Can he transform that completely? He does not know, but he wants to try. Kael reaches to his side and removes his sword, still rusted from the salt water. He looks at it for a long moment, this blade that has been his companion for 15 years, this blade that has taken so many lives. And then, gently, he lays it on the ground at the edge of the forest, not thrown away in anger, but set down with respect, a part of his past, honored but released. He turns back to Maeve. "I choose the forest. I choose transformation. I choose to walk the path wherever it leads." Maeve's smile is like the sun breaking through clouds. "Then welcome, Kael. Welcome to the beginning of your true journey." She takes his hand, and together they walk deeper into the ancient forest. The trees seem to part before them, creating a path where none was before. The Fae appear along the way, small and large, greeting him not as an outsider, not as an enemy, but as one who has been accepted. The mist swirls around them, not concealing, but embracing. Birds sing songs he now understands. The wind whispers secrets in a language his heart knows, even if his mind does not. As they walk, Kael feels the last of his old identity falling away, the armor he no longer wears, the sword he no longer carries, the duty that no longer defines him. He is becoming lighter with each step, freer, more himself than he has ever been. "Where are we going?" Kael asks. "Deeper," she says, "always deeper, to the heart of the forest, where the old magic still lives. There you will learn, and when you're ready, you will teach others. You will be a guide for those who are lost, as you once were. You will show them that there is another way, a path between war and peace, between iron and spirit." They walk in comfortable silence now, two beings who have found an unexpected friendship, the hardened Templar and the ageless Fae, the warrior who learned to see magic and the magic that taught him to see himself. The path winds on through groves and glens, past sacred springs and ancient stones. Kael does not know where it leads, and he discovers he does not need to know. For the first time in his life, he is content to simply walk, to simply be, to simply experience each moment as it comes. The forest deepens around them, the trees growing more ancient, more alive. And Kael realizes this is not an ending, it is a beginning. The beginning of a new story, a new life, a new way of being in the world. Behind him, on the edge of the forest, his sword remains where he left it. Perhaps someday another warrior will find it, rust-covered and forgotten. Perhaps they will wonder about the man who carried it, who walked away from war and into mystery. But Kael does not look back. He looks forward, at the path ahead, at Maeve beside him, at the impossible beauty of the ancient forest. He has made his choice. He has walked away from one life and into another. Sir Kael is gone. In his place is simply Kael, a man learning to see with new eyes, to love with an open heart, to walk between worlds as a bridge, a guide, a friend to those who have forgotten magic. The morning light filters through the canopy above, golden and green. The forest sings its ancient songs, and Kael, for the first time in longer than he can remember, smiles. Not a warrior's grim smile, not a knight's dutiful smile, but a genuine smile of joy, of wonder, of gratitude. He is home. Not the home he left behind, but the home he has been seeking his entire life without knowing it. The home that lives not in a place, but in a way of being. The home that is found when we stop fighting and start embracing, when we stop conquering and start learning, when we stop killing and start loving. Maeve squeezes his hand gently. "Welcome home, Kael. Welcome home." And as they disappear deeper into the mist and trees, the forest closes behind them, leaving no trace that they were ever there. Only the sword remains, a silent testament to a warrior who found something greater than war, a knight who met the Fae and learned that the most powerful magic of all is the transformation of the human heart.
And so, our story ends, though Kael's journey continues, somewhere in the depths of the ancient forest, somewhere between the world you know and the world you've forgotten, learning the old magic, becoming the bridge between what was
and what could be. His sword lies rusted on the forest floor, a relic of who he was. But Kael himself walks forward, lighter with each step, freer, more whole. The forest has claimed him, not as a prisoner, but as family. The Fae have accepted him, not as an outsider, but as one who finally understands. And perhaps, on quiet nights, when the moon is full and the mist rises from the sacred lake, travelers passing by the ancient woods hear something. Not the clash of steel or the cries of war, but laughter, music, the sound of a man who found peace not by conquering, but by surrendering, not by fighting, but by opening his heart. Maeve still walks those paths, her white hair flowing in winds that carry centuries. And beside her, always, walks a man who was once a knight, who learned that true strength lies not in the sword you carry, but in the love you give, not in the battles you win, but in the transformations you embrace. As you drift now, carried by this tale into deeper rest, let Kael's transformation remind you that we are all more than we think we are. We are all capable of change, of growth, of becoming something greater than our past. We all carry within us both the warrior and the mystic, the iron and the spirit, the hardness and the softness. You have walked with Kael through his darkest nights. You have witnessed his breaking and his remaking. You have seen that the most profound transformations come not from victory, but from surrender, not from adding more armor, but from taking it off, not from fighting harder, but from loving deeper. Let go now. Let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of the armor you carry. Let go of the weapons that weigh you down. Let go of the old stories you tell yourself about who you must be. And rest. Rest deeply. Rest completely. Rest knowing that tomorrow is another chance to choose transformation over stagnation, love over fear, magic over cynicism. Rest knowing that you, like Kael, can walk away from what no longer fits and toward what your soul has been calling you to become. The forest is always there, waiting. The Fae are always singing. The path is always open to those brave enough to walk it. And you, dear traveler, are braver than you know. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. And may your dreams be filled with ancient trees, glowing lights, and impossible friendships. May you wake tomorrow a little softer, a little wiser, a little more open to the magic that surrounds you always, if only you choose to see it. Thank you for walking this journey with me tonight. Thank you for allowing these words to carry you. Thank you for being here, for listening, for opening your heart to this tale of transformation. If this story touched you, if it helped you find rest, if it reminded you of something you had forgotten, I would be deeply grateful if you would subscribe to this channel. There are more journeys waiting, more tales of warriors and wanderers, more stories of those who chose magic over steel, love over fear, becoming over remaining. And if you feel called, leave a comment below. Tell me what resonated. Tell me what Kael's choice meant to you.
Tell me your own story of transformation. Your words create community, and in that community, we all walk a little less alone. Until our next journey together, may you rest well. May you dream deeply. May you wake transformed. Good night, dear friend. Good night.